What is going on? Welcome to another level up training. And today I'm going to be doing another what I order at restaurants because I love eating out and I love looking lean. So, what do I get in order to do that and enjoy my life? So, let's go over that right now. So, first, Kelly's Landing. Okay, now actually move this out the way for you guys. There's a bunch all over the GTA. I got a turkey burger with a side salad and a house salad in this case, not the Caesar salad. Modification side salad instead of fries, and I got an extra patty inside of it as well because usually they're somewhat thin. They have protein, but not an insane amount, especially if you're trying to hit your protein goals on a daily basis. This is, I'm estimating about 750 calories and 50 grams of protein, all because I added an extra patty and I took out the fries. Okay, so awesome choice. If you have turkey burgers as an option somewhere, grab it even over the regular burgers because the regular burgers use super high fat beef, which means a lot of saturated fat that you don't need. This is going to be a much better option. Next, now this is in Waterworks Food Hall in Toronto again. Tant XO Steak Bar. Hopefully I said that right. I'm pretty sure I did. It's an Argentinian place. I got a chicken sandwich. So this is the chicken sandwich. My friend got the chorizo. Not gonna lie, I did take a bite of that one. It is so good, but the chicken is just as good. I didn't get any modifications. I wanted it as is, authentic in how they make it, because it didn't look too crazy. The calories, I'm guessing, are about 500. Protein, 35 grams to 40 grams. Listen, most times when I go to places, I will usually get chicken, or if I can get a lean type of beef, I will do that. Simply because it will add to the protein that I need for the day, and most times I will add extra protein depending on the portion size of everything else. Right? If I see something and it looks like it's going to be 800 calories, I would sometimes try to add double protein. Okay, now I say that because there's going to be some slides where I don't do that, but that's because of how I pre-plan the day, and I'll go over that. But try to get grilled chicken options or grilled protein options. It's going to be a much better choice than fried food, of course. Okay. And 500 calories, 35 to 40 grams of protein. Very, very solid ratio when it comes to ordering out and eating out. Next, Cocktail & Co. This was just on my story actually on Saturday. You might have seen this. My fiance got a poke bowl, so she also ate pretty healthy. I got a 6-ounce steak, a strip loin to be exact, which is pretty lean, with roasted potatoes and asparagus with tiramisu cloud cake and a 5-ounce glass of wine. This is on the Summerlicious menu. Okay, so it was something that was part of the whole menu. Appetizer shared it with everybody else, and this was a dessert that I got. But modifications were just roasted potatoes instead of fries. And as you can see, it wasn't an insanely big portion. It was actually a good amount, and a 5-ounce glass of wine. So I estimate that this is around 800 calories with the cake included because I only had half of it. It wasn't a huge slice. It was a good amount, but honestly, like, this steak is 200 calories. The glass of wine is only about 100. It's a Riesling. They're usually not as calorie dense. And then just a little bit of potatoes with some asparagus. I didn't use this chimichurri as much. I just put a little bit on, as you can see, which was added to the calories. And about 45 grams of protein total for everything. So with all that being said, though, pre-plan the day, right? Because that's not a great calorie to protein ratio if you're trying to lean out and lose fat, right? Right now, I'm just maintaining. I'm not too worried about losing fat. I'm just maintaining, so my calories can be a little bit higher. But pre-planning the day helps. So if you're going to have this kind of thing, then make sure before going out, right, 800 calories could be half of your calories for the day sometimes. So make sure you cut down on carbs before heading out and just have protein, veggies, and fruits if you can, in order to still meet your protein goal, not be super hungry when you go out, and you can still manage your appetite as well. But this is a pretty solid meal. If you're going to actually go out, I would just get this. This whole thing is probably only about 400, 500 calories and like 40 grams of protein. So pretty solid. Next, poke, guys. Love this stuff. So I got a large poke bowl. Okay, if you're going to go, I would rather you just get a regular size protein bowl and then add extra salmon on it, okay, or whatever kind of fish you want. So modifications: white rice, edamame beans, regular salmon cucumber mix, light unagi sauce, and then light miso sauce, sesame sauce. About 950 calories because it's a large base, right? I got a lot of rice, about 2 cups of rice probably on the bottom. The regular is about a cup only, so it will decrease your calories in half, and then just get extra protein, right? Extra salmon. 950 calories, 45 grams of protein for me here. If you were to get the regular size, you could probably cut this down and just get extra salmon and just get this. You could probably bring that down to about 750 calories, maybe even 700, depending on how heavy their hand is when it comes to the pour, and then about 45 grams of protein again. So much better ratio, especially if you're gonna go out. It's light, quote unquote. It just feels good in the summertime. It's so delicious, and it's fresh, right? It's just all whole ingredients, so it's really, really good. Next, Beer Town. If you haven't been here, guys, absolutely delicious. I got a turkey burger again. I don't know what's going on. I feel like a lot of these restaurants nowadays are adding turkey burgers onto the menu, which I absolutely love. I actually like these even more than sometimes a grilled chicken or chicken breast sandwiches, depending on where I go. Now, as you can see, though, this day I wasn't too. This day was like I had a full-on cheat day. Reason being is because I was in a mini cut, and then I was out of the mini cut. Right? I was like, you know what? I don't need to cut anymore. Let me actually put on some size again. So that was the first day back at it, and I said, I'm just gonna enjoy what I want to eat. So I had a turkey burger, again, being somewhat protein conscious with fries. So I just said no cheese or butter. I just told them I'm lactose intolerant because I am. So I just didn't want the cheese and I didn't want to deal with like the bloating because I was already gonna eat somewhat off the meal plan throughout the whole day. So I didn't want to have more bloating going on. Sorry, that was a big ass truck here. Anyways, calories 700, protein 35 grams. Right? Again, estimate, but been doing this for a long enough time where I feel like that's a pretty good estimate. It might be 800 calories given the fries and the amount, but 700, 800 calories, 35 grams of protein. Again, not the best ratio. But what do you do? Let's say this was the only option you had for the healthiest choice. You couldn't even get a side salad if you wanted to. You can at this place, but let's say you couldn't. What you want to do, and let's say you couldn't add, oh yeah, let's just say you couldn't. So if you're going to have this, right? Actually, I'll just give you two options. One, what you're going to do before going out is, again, minimize the carbs, protein, veggies, fruits. That's all you're going to eat, and then go out and have fun. The other thing you could do is, right, how do you make this better? Instead of fries, get a side salad, right? The house salad, don't get the Caesar salad, and then add an extra turkey burger to it, right? It might still be 650, 700 calories, but you're going to get about 50 to 60 grams of protein, right? Probably closer to 60. So really, really solid option as well. Next. West Indian food. Now, I don't remember what this place was called, but it was a buffet style, right? It was at my uncle's birthday party, and I was just very happy that he got this food. And again, this is all no fried. They had fried chicken. I stayed away from the fried chicken. So I got jerk / barbecue chicken. I got the small beef patty here, and I think I already ate half of it there. And then a quarter plate rice. Modifications, buffet style dining. So I was able to portion as I needed. So rough estimate, now it doesn't look like a lot, right? But this is 1,000 calories worth of food. Reason being is because the drumsticks aren't so bad. This one's a jerk one, so it's not going to be super calorie dense in sauce, but this is barbecue sauce on here. Now, usually the barbecue sauce is going to be a little bit more calorie dense because they add sugar to this stuff, right? To make it delicious, absolutely fire. And then even the rice is going to have a little bit more oil than you typically would. And then, I just had this, but let's say just this in general. Doesn't look like a lot, but it's about 1,000 calories on this plate, but I'm estimating about 60 to 70 grams of protein. I would say it's probably 65, but I said 60 to 70. Each chicken drumstick is about like 200 to 300 calories. I just said 250, met myself in the middle, added some calories extra for the sauce. So, and each one ended up being about 300 anyways. Or sorry, not 300, 250. Oh, it was 200 for the drumstick, and then I added 50 calories for sauce. So about 250 per drumstick, a little bit of rice with oil, a little bit of that. About 1,000 calories, okay? 60 to 70 grams. So you've got to be careful when you're going out. This might look generally pretty healthy. Even if you took this out, the beef patty, this is still going to be about 900 calories, give or take, right? So you really got to be careful how much you're eating before you go out. But again, I was lucky that they had this, the charcoal or like grilled chicken options, add a lot of protein to my meal, a lot of protein to the day that I could just kind of finish off my protein intake, and you're good to go. So that's that. Again, when you're buffet style though, just make sure you're not overdoing it. I ate this, and I had a little bit more chicken after with a little bit of rice because I had a lot of calories backed up for the day. And I had a point when I'm maintaining, I eat about like 2,600 calories a day. So I had a good amount to play with. So you got to be careful with how much are you playing with, how much do you have left, and then what did you eat before going out. So for that day, I just really had mainly just protein and fruits before I left. Las Chicos. I probably put this on here before, actually, now that I think about it. But this shit is delicious, guys. It's in Markham. I think they have one in Scarborough, Mississauga. And for those of you who are not from where I am, right, I'm from Canada, Toronto. I'm not going to put my exact location, but again, I'm around there. We got a lot of good food places. So this is the chicken sandwich, plus it got a slice of cake. I shared this with my fiance. Modifications, I subbed the fries for a Caesar salad. Oh, I said Cesar. Well, it's supposed to be Caesar salad, okay? Now again, if you're going to be in a deficit, I would not get that. I would just get their home salad, their house salad, or whatever it is. It's a lot less in calories because the Caesar dressing is what really kills the calorie intake on a salad. So if you could just get house salad with, whatever sauce they have, it's a lot better, or dressing, usually light dressing, so it's not too bad. And then you could also ask for no croutons, because sometimes some places put a lot of croutons. Just have the lettuce with some of the house dressing, and you'll be good to go. And of course, this is a little bit heavier, right? Look at the bread. Look at the amount of sauce they put in the sandwich. Obviously, you don't eat the sauce here as well. Just have the sauce in the sandwich. It's delicious either way. But it's thick. It's juicy. It's delicious. Plus, I had half of this with my fiance. This, guys, wasn't so great. I'm not going to lie to you. The cake was fine. The ice cream was absolutely disgusting. The cake was not bad. But overall, this whole thing was probably about 1,600 calories, 55 grams of protein. Now, 1,600 calories is sometimes what people eat in a deficit. And sometimes 55 grams of protein is all you get, because that's sometimes you don't know how to eat enough protein. 1,600 calories, you want to get about 100 to 120 grams of protein a day with that, right? So again, be mindful. But again, this is what I had. You can make better choices. House salad, just have this chicken sandwich, and then don't get the cake. You'll save like 600 to 700 calories. Public Gardens, this is the last place I believe that's on here. This was an Italian-style restaurant in Toronto. It wasn't bad, but this one was the worst one that I had, right? I ended off with probably the worst two that I had throughout the month. So meatball pasta, they had no grilled options. I couldn't get any grilled chicken if I wanted to. I couldn't get any of the grilled shrimp or fish or anything like that. Everything was fried or just super heavy, so this was the only option I had. And it was my fault because I didn't look at the menu before I left. So this plate is probably like 1,600 to 1,800 calories. Why? There's a lot of pasta in there. They use a lot of oil, which is going to add an insane amount of calories. And the meatballs were delicious. But again, they're going to be super high fatty meatballs. They have a little bit of cheese in there. I have my lactose pill, don't you worry. So again, super high fat, super high carb, very low protein. So I'm guessing this is about 1,600 to 800 calories, 25 grams of protein only. Not the best day I had there. Okay, not the best day, but it happens sometimes. But again, I don't want to make you guys think I'm perfect or like I'm making the right choice every single time. This is the one case where I just didn't make a great choice. I wasn't going to feel bad about it. I didn't do extra work or extra cardio the next day. I just adjusted. I went back to my plan. I had decreased the carbs and fats a little bit the next day, so that way I was kind of balancing out my calories, and that way I wasn't going overboard and then gaining a little bit of weight, right? All you need to do is just adjust for the next day and then get right back to it and you'll be good. No, this is the last thing, Rib Fest. Pretty straightforward. I just had ribs, no modifications, right? Rib Fest, you get what you get. I didn't have the cornbread. I had one bite, so I didn't count it in here. It wasn't that great, but the ribs are fire, fantastic. So half rack of ribs, around 750 to 850 calories, because you gotta remember, like, they're very high fat, as well as the barbecue sauce in there is super high sugar, so it's got a lot of calories. So about 40 grams of protein. So the last three things were probably not the best ones, but hey, we're human. Just showing you what I get. But everything I had protein in it, okay? That's really the big thing here. Except maybe this. This I really wouldn't count too much. But other than that, it wasn't too shabby. But that's it, guys, right? And then how do you calculate your macros if you don't know, if you don't track it in an app, or if you're going to a restaurant, they don't have any options? You're going to use ChatGPT. I put this in my last one too. I ate an 8-ounce sirloin steak with a side of steamed veggies and 1/3 of a chocolate cheesecake. Calculate the average calories and macros in this meal based on the restaurants you have searched. Or say the exact restaurant and meal for the known place, right? Or what are the calories and macros for the chicken zen bowl from Moxie's with extra chicken, right? So you could do that as well. This is what happens, right? When you make better choices, you can lean out over time and keep the results. 1% better every day, ladies and gents, 1% better. Appreciate you guys. Like this video. Comment if you liked it. Comment any restaurants maybe you think I should go try out, or you want me to make healthier food option choices around that restaurant. Comment other videos you'd like to see. Subscribe, and I appreciate you guys.